Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So just a couple of weeks back, my family and I went on a small vacation and had a great time, but of course while we were there, you guys know I did some media hunting because whenever I go to a new city, I always like to check out what they have to offer. So we actually ended up going to Cleveland in Ohio, and so I was able to hit up a couple different half-price book locations, which I don't have in Michigan. And then I found an Ollie's in the area. I have I think one thing from there. There was a Books A Million that I found in a mall. So just like all these random spots that we happen to be, and I did some media hunting because why wouldn't I, right? So excited to share with you guys. I have quite a stack of things here, quite a lot of books, and then quite a bit of movies as well, including some DVDs and one 4K item that I found at a Big Lots, which I was not expecting at all. So lots of different things to share with you guys, and I cannot wait to get into it. So before we get into all that though, if you guys do have a second, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my vacation media haul. So I'll go with books first, and I guess like the first stack here are all media tie-ins, so I'll start with those. The first one is a young adult book based on the Blair Witch Files. This is the Blair Witch Project rather. This is the Blair Witch Files, The Dark Room, and this one is written by Cade Merrill. So this is actually book number... It's not on here, but I think it's book number 2 of this series, if I'm not mistaken. And I do already have book number 1. Yeah, it is. Witch Files number 2. Yeah, it's not on the cover, but it is on the intro page there. So I have the first 2 in this series now, if I remember right. And yeah, this is just a young adult horror series that's based off of the Blair Witch Project. So have not read the first one yet, but I mean, they look so much fun. And when I found this for the low price, I had to pick it up. So excited to add the Blair Witch Files number 2, The Dark Room, written by Cade Merrill, to the collection. The next 4 are all novelizations, and this first one is for a movie that I think is severely underrated. I love this film. It's from Guillermo del Toro. This is Crimson Peak, and this one is written by Nancy Holder writes this one. And so she is a well-known novelization author. I have a ton of books from her in my collection, thanks to all of her novelizations. So yeah, this is a great horror film. I thought it was super like effective. It has some amazing set pieces on here as well, just like the set itself, the costume designs. It's just a beautiful movie to look at, and I think it's super effective. I know this one gets a lot of hate, but I really enjoyed it, so I definitely wanted to pick up the novelization to see if it's any good or not. So Crimson Peak, written by Nancy Holder. Next up is another movie that everybody in the world hates, but I liked it when I saw it in theaters, but I have not seen it ever since then. This is Daredevil, of course, the Ben Affleck Daredevil, and this one is written by Greg Cox, another super well-known novelization author or media tie-in author. So yeah, this is a movie, again, like it just doesn't get a lot of love, but I enjoyed it. Jennifer Garner, of course, is in this one. You can see there playing Elektra. So yeah, I mean, it's just a fun movie. I haven't seen it since it came out, so many years now, but I do own the Blu-ray and I've been wanting to revisit it. So I will definitely have to do that at some point soon here. So Daredevil, written by Greg Cox. Here's one I have not seen yet, but boy, do I need to. I actually found this on DVD not too terribly long ago. This is Wild Wild West. And this one is written by, who is this by? Bruce Bethke, which I recognize the name, but I don't know exactly why. So yeah, this is one, again, that is a pretty well-known movie, but also well-known as like a flop. And so, yeah, this is just crazy. I remember I was watching something recently where Will Smith talked about turning down the role of Neo in The Matrix in order to do Wild Wild West, and how it may not have been the best decision of his life, but obviously things worked out for him. So yeah, excited to visit this one. You know, it's obviously like a steampunk setting. So yeah, very intrigued to see what this one is all about. Kenneth Branagh is in this. And Kevin, I didn't even realize that. That blows my mind. Anyway, Wild Wild West, written by Bruce Bethke. So the last novelization is one that I have been looking for so long, and I was so excited when I came across this one at Half Price Books. This is Batman Begins, and this one is written by Dennis O'Neil. So I have The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises novelizations, but I didn't have the first one with Batman Begins. So I've been waiting to start that trilogy until I was able to find this, and when I came across it, I was just so excited. The price was really good too. All of these were like I don't even know, less than $4, all of them. Most of them were under $3 as well. So yeah, just, I love this movie. Obviously I think, you know, Dark Knight is my favorite of the trilogy, as it is for most people, but Batman Begins I think is excellent as well. And the 10th anniversary of the Dark Knight Rises is coming up next month, and I do want to do something with this trilogy to celebrate that a little bit. So look for that in the coming month here. But Batman Begins, written by Dennis O'Neil, is going to wrap up my Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy novelizations. Next up are a couple of Goosebumps books. So this first one here is Still More Tales to Give You Goosebumps, written by R.L. Stine. So this is his short story collection. I want to say this is like the 4th book in this little series of his. Now, I don't see the other ones on here, but I think I have like the first 2, maybe the first 3, I don't even know. But yeah, oh, there it is, special edition number 4. So yeah, it's definitely the 4th book in this short story collection. But yeah, I've actually never read any short stories from R.L. Stine, so I have no idea what to expect here, but I'm hoping I'll enjoy them. And of course, it was a Goosebumps book, so I wanted to add that one to the collection. But the one I was super happy to find was one that I needed in order to collect toward the complete original series. This is The Barking Ghost by R.L. Stine. So this is book number 32 in this series, and it now means I only have 10 more Goosebumps originals to find in order to have a complete collection. So yeah, I need to like share with you guys which ones I need, just in case you guys have any laying around that you don't need anymore, that you might want to, you know, send my way or sell to me. That would be amazing. But the ones I need now are pretty much the difficult ones to find. Most of the later ones, because there were, I don't remember how many, but there were some towards the end that have never been reprinted. And so it's just a little bit more difficult to find them. And I said reprinted as opposed to reprinted, but you know what I mean. Anyway, The Barking Ghost, which just has an amazing cover. Unfortunately, it does have this little sticker on here. So that is what it is. If I find a better one down the line, I'll upgrade it. But for now, I only have 10 more to go to have the complete original Goosebumps line. Sticking with R.L. Stine, I actually found this at Books A Million in the clearance bin, which, like, Books A Million has the best clearance bin out there in my eyes. But this is Fear Street Super Thriller. This is actually 2 books in one. So this is Party Games and Don't Stay Up Late. So this is actually book 1 and book 2 of the Fear Street reboot series that R.L. Stine did recently. So I've not owned any of these, at least these 2. And so I was very happy to find this. I don't know if I have any of the other ones, which I think I might, because I would have grabbed them probably if I didn't, because they did have, like, I think all 6 of the books in the reboot series were available in 3 of these different types of whatever set super thrillers, whatever you want to call them, the 2-in-1s. But I think I might have the others, which is why I passed on those. But yeah, so very excited to add anything Fear Street to my collection. I know that these are the reboot books, and so probably not going to be quite as good as the original, but hopefully I will enjoy them anyway. So Fear Street Super Thriller, books 1 and 2, Party Games, and Don't Stay Up Late, written by R.L. Stine. This is the last book in this haul, and this is actually one that I've read before, which I typically don't buy a lot of books that I've already read, but this is one that I would really like to read again. Honestly, I'll probably do it on audiobook the next time I read it, but either way, the sequel's coming out soon, and I love this book. This is Clown in a Cornfield, written by Adam Caesar. So, like I said, I read this one, I think it was last year, whenever it came out, so I think it was last year, maybe 2020, whatever it was, but I really loved it. I had so much fun with it, and I read it thanks to my library, so when I saw this one in the clearance bin for like $5, I definitely wanted to pick it up. It is hardcover, which I don't typically buy, but yeah, I mean, for the price, you couldn't go wrong, and this is just a great book. Basically, we follow this this girl who moved to this new city with her friends, or with her family, and they are kind of in the middle of nowhere now, where she's a city girl, and weird things happen. Essentially, a clown is going to start attacking people, and it's just like crazy, bloody, brutal. It is technically young adult, but a lot of people will say it didn't feel like young adult to them. I'll admit, in my review, I think I mentioned that, yeah, it felt like a young adult book, but not because of the brutality and the violence. That felt more adult, but the reason I thought it felt young adult was because of the relationships involved. And so that, it felt like teen, you know, directed at teens, but the violence did not. And so I still enjoyed this one quite a bit. So definitely recommend this if you haven't seen it, and check your local Books A Million. Maybe you can find it cheap. Clown in a Cornfield, written by Adam Caesar. And the last of the reading material I found is actually a graphic novel, and this is one that I found at Ollie's for really cheap. This is Star Wars Ewoks Flight to Danger, excuse me. So this one is actually really short, but I mean, it looked interesting. It's Star Wars, like I'm always intrigued by Star Wars stuff. You can see on the inside, I mean, this has to be aimed at younger audiences, especially with it being Ewoks. But I mean, I don't know, it just looks cute, it looks fun. Another one for my Star Wars graphic novel collection, so that's always cool. This collects Ewoks numbers 1 through 5, written by Dave Manick and illustrations by Warren Kramer. So I have no idea like what year this is actually from. It looks like it's very 1970s. But I don't see like an original publication year on here, so I'm not sure. But either way, it looks fun. So I'm not sure if it's going to be any good or not, but it doesn't really matter. It was so cheap. So Star Wars Ewoks Flight to Danger. That's the last of the reading material I grabbed. So now let's jump over to the movies. So when I go to Half Price Books, which is super rare, only when I go on vacation do I get Half Price Books, but I love checking out their clearance section because they always have some really cool things, and that's where a handful of what I'm going to show you today was from. First up is not a movie, but a an MMA event. This is Pride FC, and this is actually events 1 through 5 of Pride. So, Pride Fighting's legendary early years, which is always fun for me because things were just so much more barbaric back in the beginning, and it's just crazy to watch. So yeah, I guess this is events 1 through 5. Really looking forward to checking them out. Oh, Chemo is on here. Dan the Beast Severin, who I love, was in the first one. Like Rickson Gracie. I don't know. So a lot of big names in the original Pride fight. So very much so looking forward to checking this out when I get around to it. And this was only like $4 in the clearance bin, and it's brand new, not even opened, which is awesome. So that is the first of the movie side of things I was able to find. Here's one that they actually just recently announced that is coming to Blu-ray, a complete series of this, but the price is much higher than I want to pay, so I figured I would grab this for very cheap. This is Aqua Teen Hunger Force Volume 1. So I used to watch this show like when I was falling asleep way back when in the day, and I always enjoyed it. It made me laugh. It's not great. It's stupid comedy, but like it's pretty funny. So yeah, I figured I would grab it. This is going to be what I'm assuming is the first season of the show. It does say Volume 1, so I guess technically it could be any number of episodes. But yeah, either way, happy to have this one in the collection. This is another one. It was like $3 or $4 in the clearance bin, so I figured I would pick it up. Aqua Teen Hunger Force Volume 1 from Adult Swim. Let me know if you guys ever watched this when you were younger. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts on this show. The last one I found from the clearance bin at Half Price Books is a movie I'd never heard of before, but it just looks interesting. I don't know. This is Hardware Wars, and you can see on the top here, the original Hardware Wars, and it says, the tagline here is, "The farce is back." So, as far as I can tell, this looks like a Star Wars satire film, like a spoof on Star Wars, so like, I don't know. I love Star Wars, so maybe I will enjoy this one as well. Reminds me of something like Spaceballs. Probably not going to be as good as Spaceballs, of course. It's only an hour long, so it's really short, but I don't know. Just looked interesting. I'd never heard of it, so I figured, yeah, this is like a unique piece that I need for my collection. So, yeah, definitely excited to check this one out. It's another one, like, if you guys know anything about this, let me know. Is this even available on Blu-ray? I'd never heard of it or seen it, so let me know if it is. But, yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this thing is all about. Hardware Wars from, well, 1977, I think, is the year it's released. But, yeah, I think it's a Star Wars satire, so hopefully it'll be enjoyable. These next two were also from Half Price Books, but they were not, unfortunately, in the clearance bin. The first one here is Masters of Horror by John Landis. This is Dear Woman. So this is a movie that I'd heard about a lot over the years, but I've never seen it, and it was one that I needed for my Masters of Horror collection, so I picked it up. And then the other one is also Masters of Horror. This one is Clive Barker's Hackle's Tale, I think is how you would say that one. But this one is actually directed by John McNaughton, who did Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which I love that movie. It is so disturbing and messed up. So really looking forward to checking out what he can do with something else, because I don't know that I've ever seen any other McNaughton film. So excited to see what that's about. But yeah, so two more for my Masters of Horror collection. I'm sure quite a ways away yet from having a complete Masters of Horror collection, but this is a good step there. I'd never seen these two in the wild before, so very happy to add Clive Barker's Hackle's Tale and John Landis's Dear Woman. And I should mention it's Clive Barker. He must have written the original story. It's actually directed by John McNaughton, excuse me. This was one I actually found at the Dollar Tree out there. It was completely random, but we were there, so we stopped in. This is the Manson Family Massacre. So yeah, obviously this is going to be about like the Sharon Tate murders, led by or masterminded by Charles Manson. But other than that, I don't know too much about it. It's from Phase 4 or whatever it is. The logo looks like Phase 4 Entertainment right down here. So yeah, I don't know if this one's going to be any good or not, but I'd never seen this one at my local Dollar Trees for their movie, so I figured I would pick it up for the $1.25. It says hell has found a new home. So yeah, I'm hoping it'll be acceptable. I don't know. We'll see when I get around to it though. So first one and the only one from Dollar Tree is the Manson Family Murders, and this one is from when? 2019 it looks like. So relatively new at least. The final two here are actually from Big Lots, which we kind of just randomly stopped into one day. The first one here is from the Asylum, so I was so happy to find this because it wasn't in my selection of Asylum films when I bought all mine recently. This is 8213 Gacy House. So this is actually a found footage Asylum film. You can see the warning and then the Asylum logo on the back there. And I've seen this one before, and it's not great. I'll be 100% honest with you, but whenever I have a chance to add an Asylum film to the collection, I am taking advantage of that. So yeah, this is actually, like, all of their found footage films they place in a series on IMDb. So like Annalise, The Exorcist tapes is on there. This one, there is one about Richard Speck, but I can't think of the name of it. That one is listed in there as well. Paranormal Entity is listed as part of the series, but there's really no relation to these movies at all, at least that I've ever been able to find. So I don't know, keep that in mind. But yeah, 8213 Gacy House is about a group of paranormal investigators who go to John Wayne Gacy's old house, and of course there's going to be ghosts and crazy things like that. Like, this is one of the weaker of their found footage films, but it's good enough to be in my collection, and that's really what matters. So 8213 Gacy House from Asylum. Last but not least is arguably the best find of this entire haul, just given the price of this thing. I swear it was marked wrong. This is the Mask of Zorro on 4K, and yep, I paid $3 for this on 4K, which is just ridiculous. So this is one that, like, I've been wanting to see this. I know I must have seen this years and years ago. I don't remember anything about it. And when I saw this on 4K, I got excited. And then when I saw the price tag, I was even more happy. Like, how are they selling this for $3? I remember the other 4K items I found there. I think I found Cliffhanger on 4K, and I want to say that one was either $5 or $8, which would make more sense to me for a 4K release. But hey, I'm not going to complain at all. I'm very happy to spend $3 on this one with Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins. A very well-known film, but one that if I've seen, I just don't remember anything about it. So I was actually wanting to pick this one up on 4K when it was released, but I held off, and I'm glad I did now because I never would have found this for cheaper than this. So really great price on the Mask of Zorro. Check your local Big Lots. They do have some 4K items. I don't know if they're all going to be this cheap, but you could get something cool for $5 or $8 if you're interested. So the last one that I was able to find on my most recent vacation is the Mask of Zorro on 4K from Big Lots. Alright, so here are the movies, at least, that I found. I won't pick up the books just because there's too many and they're heavy, but yeah, a really good set of finds, I think, on vacation. Like, you can't go wrong. I didn't spend nearly as much time this time on vacation as I did in vacations past, but I spent enough time to grab all of this. Most of this, of course, coming from Half Price Books, but I love going on vacation and being able to media hunt, so I'm fortunate for my family for allowing me to do that as well. It's just fun for me. Like, it's what I enjoy doing the most, and so, of course, whenever I can, I'm going to take advantage of that. So I want to hear from you guys, though. Have you seen any of these or read any of these? And if so, what did you think? Anything I should put toward the top of my list, or maybe something I didn't need to buy? Let me know what your thoughts are on this and anything else down in the comment section below. I always appreciate all of your comments down there, so thanks so much for all that support. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That engagement really helps me out. And like I always say, I don't just talk books or movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.